Listen, if this does not blow your mind, I don't know what will, because Google just released a brand new AI tool that's about to put some money in your pocket. And anyone that has a Gmail account can do this for free from anywhere in the world. And if you don't have one, don't worry, because you can also make that for free. But that's why I am so shocked that more people are not talking about this. But that's actually a good thing, because this is your opportunity to hop on this right now before it becomes saturated. And I've personally been diving deep into this, and I have found a method that can help you to make thousands a month from just a few clicks. So make sure you stick around until the end so I can show you exactly how this works. What's up, guys? It's Monique, and I'm back with the news that you can use. But first, if you are new here, hello, bonjour, hola, aloha, konnichiwa, wagwan, shalom, assalamu alaikum, jambo chow, namaste. So I'm not about to waste your time. Let's get right into this brand new Google AI tool, and it is called Notebook LM. And how it works is really simple. You can take a document, an article, a YouTube video, notes, or you can give it a prompt telling it whatever you want it to do. And once you upload that info, Notebook LM will take it, it will analyze it, organize it, and create an entire podcast. That sounds like two real people are really sitting there discussing the topic that you gave it.
Okay, so we're diving into this new podcast idea, How Not to Adult.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, right? Like,
yeah, I like the whole like anti-self-help vibe.
Yo, this is some next level stuff, and I'm about to show you how you can now take this and make money from it. So the first thing that you need to do to get started is get your free Notebook LM account. And you can just go to notebooklm.google, and don't worry, I'll put that link down in the description for you to make it easy. And once you get to this page, you are going to select Try Notebook. And it's going to ask you to sign in if you're not already signed into your Gmail account. And remember, if you don't have one, you can just come down here and you can create an absolutely free Gmail account. But now that we are in, the fun can begin. So what we are going to do next is select Create, and you will see that there are several different ways that you can have Notebook LM to create a podcast for you. And the first one is going to be Google Document. And this is going to be good if you want to focus on creating podcasts about popular books. Because first of all, they're popular, so we know people like them. You can't go wrong there. So just to show you how this works, I'm going to take a chapter from my favorite book, which is the Bible. So I'll look up Genesis chapter 3. And I will just copy it, and then I will go to Google Docs, and it is also free to create a Google document. So we can just make a new doc and paste everything into it. And once we have all of that set up, we will head back over to Notebook LM, and I'm going to select Google Doc. And we'll just select the doc that was just created. And once it's uploaded, this is the page that it's going to bring you to. But the area of this that we want to focus on is going to be over here where it says Deep Dive Conversation, because this is what's going to create the podcast. So all we have to do is just hit generate. And after a few minutes, this thing created an entire 20-minute podcast. And let me show you what this sounds like.
We're going beyond the surface today. Have you ever really thought about the serpent's argument? Like why it was so persuasive?
well, one thing that's often overlooked is how the serpent's tactics are kind of like. Well, they mirror a lot of modern-day persuasion.
Now, you cannot tell me that that does not sound like two real people. Can you believe that's AI? But at least I didn't think that's what it would sound like. The way that they are having a conversation together, it just flows. And just FYI, because I know some people may be wondering, no matter what you upload, you do not have to worry about copyright issues because you are not claiming this as your own. This is just taking a source and discussing it and analyzing it, which is perfectly fine under fair use. But now is a good time for us to get into how you can actually make money from this utilizing Google's algorithm. And so if we head back into Notebook LM, we'll have to select a new notebook. And as you can see down here under the sources that we are able to use, there's something that says website. And so what we are going to have to do is create a website, and we will be using Hostinger, which is one of the best web hosting platforms. And they actually have a really big sale going on right now. So make sure you go down in the description and click on that link so we can do this together. But when you are in Hostinger, what you're going to do is claim that deal, and then it's going to ask you to select a plan. Now, in order for this to work the way that we want it to, the best one to really go with is going to be a business plan, which is only about $3 a month. And then it's going to ask you to choose the period. Now, you want to at least go with 12 months because with that one, you will get a free domain, which is your www.com name. But just know if you go with the 48-month period, you will get a bigger discount plus 3 months free. And on top of that, if you go over here and say you have a coupon and enter my code, the Hintons, that will get you an additional 10% off. Merry Christmas. So when you are logged into Hostinger, you'll see a tab that says websites. And once we click that, we are going to go to add a website, and you want to choose WordPress. And then there'll be some things they ask you to do. You'll just follow the prompts and enter your login info. You'll go ahead and choose a blog because that's what we'll need to create to make this work. You'll choose whatever layout that you want to hear, but when you get to plugins, this is really important. All of them that they have selected, you definitely want to leave as is, but we're going to also go up here, search for Seriously Simple Podcasting. And when it comes up, just select it. And we'll hit next. You can either choose your domain name now or you can use a temporary one. And once you're done with that, it will give you a preview of what your web page looks like at this point, but we have a little bit of work to do. So we want to make sure we get to the dashboard. And once you're in the dashboard, you'll see something that says speed up content creation with AI. Yes, that's what we want to do. And here they are going to ask you what type of content you want to make. We want it to be a post, and you can choose whatever tone of voice you want it to be in, as well as the length. I go longer. And right here is where you are going to enter a prompt to tell it what type of post to create. And for the sake of this video, I'll just enter top 10 ways that AI is revolutionizing health and wellness this year. And just like that, it's going to create an entire article for us. And I'm sure you're probably wondering, Monique, what in the world does that have to do with the podcast? Well, let me show you. Once you publish that article, you can then go and copy the link to it, and we'll head back into Notebook LM. Make sure you selected website, and we're going to paste the URL to that article in here. And again, we'll just generate a podcast, and look at what it did.
AI. It's like it's going to revolutionize how we think about health and wellness.
Totally. It really is fascinating, just the shift.
Yeah.
You know, what we see in all these sources is this move from just reacting to health problems to actually promoting well-being.
Right.
This was created from a link to an article. You can't tell me that this thing isn't good. But how we can make money with this is by focusing on creating the type of podcasts and blogs that you can add affiliate links to. And that will be talking about different product reviews or comparisons. You can do top 10 lists, how-to guides, gift guides. You can do Amazon finds, tech products, and you can add links to other articles that's on the internet. And when people make purchases from the links that you add to this, then you will get paid. And I talked about affiliate marketing many times before. I will add a link down in the description for you to check that out in case you want more detail on how to make that work. But let me show you how you can now add your podcast to your website that you just created, which is important. So back over here on Hostinger in the menu, you will see podcasting. And so we'll select that, and then they'll ask us for a name of your show. You can come up with whatever name you want, and also a brief description. But if you don't know what to call it, we can always tap into the power of ChatGPT, and we can ask it to help us to come up with a list of about 10 different podcast names. And then you can pick the best one you like, and depending on what you go with, you can also ask ChatGPT to create an image for that podcast for you. Just make sure it's a 300 pixel by 300 pixel, and then you'll upload that image right into here. And when it says connect to casters, you can skip that step. Now once we have that part set up, then we can get started with creating the podcast. And this is where you can enter the title to your podcast, and you can give it a description talking about what it is. But this is where I would definitely place those affiliate links. So for instance, this podcast topic was about AI and health and wellness. So if you're an affiliate with something like Amazon, which I am, you can go and look for some health products. You can copy the link and then come back and you can type it right into here. And after you are done adding all of your links, we are going to scroll down to the bottom right here. And this is where we are going to upload that podcast. And once we are done, this is what the section of your website that has your podcast will look like. This is episode 1. And people will be able to listen to it right on here. Now think about this. You already created your blog and now you just added your podcast to your website. So you are setting yourself up to reach a wider audience. And wider audience means more money. And I definitely wouldn't skip the part of creating a blog just because that's what's going to actually help with Google's algorithm, because that will help you to rank higher in the search results. So whenever people search about the topics that you talk about, you'll be more likely to show up in their results. And their podcast adds that extra level of reach just because sometimes people don't want to read a long article. They want to just hear somebody talk about it. So having both formats, you are tapping into 2 different worlds. Now I'm about to show you another powerful way that you can make money using this tool that's definitely worth mentioning. So we're going to travel back into Notebook LM, and there's an awesome feature, and under the sources you can see that it lets you create podcasts from YouTube videos. This is opening up even more possibilities because you can take any video on YouTube, whether it is your own popular videos or if you find trending videos out there that have done well in the last year. Because you know, if you find videos that are performing well, of course we know that people are interested, and you can repurpose that content into a podcast and reach an entirely new audience that prefers to listen. And no, you do not have to worry about copyright issues with this as well. So all you'll have to do is copy the link to the video, and then you'll come back and post it into Notebook LM. And once you generate your podcast, this is what it's going to do.
We're going deep into the world of Cat Williams today.
Oh yeah, he's
specifically
pretty entertaining.
His no-holds-barred interview that he had with Shannon Sharpe over on Club Shay.
Ah, that was a good one.
So
yeah.
Cat, obviously he's got this reputation for, just saying whatever's on his mind.
Oh yeah, keeps it real.
And the good thing about how you can make money with this is, just like you did with the articles, you can also add affiliate links to your podcast on YouTube. Plus, once you hit 1,000 subscribers, YouTube will start paying you as well. And again, like I always tell people, my very first check on YouTube, in 11 days I made over $3,000. So it's a lot of money to be made here. And since we're tapping into videos that have performed well, then this is a way for you to try to grow even faster on YouTube. Now, before you upload this to YouTube, you can upload it just as an audio file, but I suggest creating some kind of background to go along with it. And you can create those for free in Canva. All you'll have to do is come to the top and search for podcast video templates, and then you can look through all of the templates, but just make sure you avoid the ones that have the crown in the corner, because those come with the pro plan. So we want the free plan. But if you happen to find something that you absolutely love that comes with the pro plan, you can always sign up for a 30-day free trial and use it real quick. But once you select the template that you like, then you'll want to make sure you come over here to the uploads, and you are going to upload that podcast into Canva. And once it's complete, we then just drag it down and drop it beneath the video. Now you will have to do some editing to this, like you can just change the title of it, you can add the episode name. Depending on which template you chose, they probably will have some videos in it. You can always change those by going over to the elements, and you can search for like a male podcaster or just whatever you prefer to be in that frame, and you can change it out. Or you can add still pictures to this. You can even completely take that away, and you can add something else that you like here. And you'll just drag out that template as far as it can go. For the most part, it probably will not extend to the length of your podcast. So you'll just right click it and duplicate it and keep on doing that until it makes its way on down the road to the end. And inside of YouTube, they actually have an entire dedicated podcast area. And this is a fairly new feature. And you know how YouTube is with their new features. That's the type of content they like to push out more than others. And so to upload this as a podcast, all you have to do is go into your YouTube studio, you'll hit create, and then you'll see that podcast section under there, and that's where you'll add it. You'll add the name and everything else. But another thing, as you start to grow on YouTube, then you will get people reach out to you to sponsor your videos. So that's another way that you can make money. There is literally so much potential here. But the last way that I want to show you really quickly that you can use Notebook LM to create your podcast from is going to be text. We will be entering in a prompt, basically a few sentences telling it what type of podcast we want it to create. And if you are not sure, then we can head back over to ChatGPT and then you can ask it to give you a list of 20 text prompts that I can enter into Google's Notebook LM so that it can create an engaging podcast that is educational with humor. You can tell it to make something faith-based. You can tell it to make something inspirational. Tell it to make something about health if you have a specific interest area that you want it to go into. And it will list out a ton of different options here for you. And all you'll then do is copy it. You'll come back over to Notebook LM. You'll select that text source and then you'll paste it right into here. And at this point, it's the same steps and it's going to generate a podcast. And it sounds a little something like this.
Okay, so this source starts off by comparing going into debt to like a whirlwind romance. What is going on there psychologically? Like, what is happening?
Well, it's like that instant gratification thing. It's that like buy now, think later mentality. And it's like, you know, we get so caught up in the moment that we're not really thinking about the consequences.
Now, this is a free tool, so make sure you take advantage of it before it's too late. And there are many other ways that you can make money from this. Like you can even upload your podcast to Spotify. Now, in the beginning with Spotify, you may not get paid, but as you grow your audience and get listeners, then they will pay you to place ads throughout your podcast. And you can also create a Spotify account for free. So like I said, there are many other ways that you can make money using this. I just wanted to share enough with you to get your brain rolling with some good ideas about what you can do and enough for you to get started today. So I hope that this helps you out. Please like this video because that helps me out. Other than that, I thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to hear about your success. And until next time, we are out. Peace.